Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? I hope you're all well. And today we are going to discuss a really interesting topic, which is why does it hurt so much during separation and what are the ways to cope with it? I'm just going to give it a few seconds until all of y'all join me. Hello, I see one of y'all. Show me that you're here. Say hi. Right. I know the timing has has changed this week too, but from next week onwards it's going to be more consistent, so you guys do not have to worry. So delving right into the topic, why is the yearning so hard? Firstly, in a twin flame relationship, things are extremely different to a normal relationship. And that is the reason why it is extremely hard. Hi, Jessica. How are you? So good to see you. Just going to give it like a few more minutes until all of you join me in. Join me. Join me in this life. Hi, Rachel. Hope you're well. Hi, Therese. I think we will have a good crowd today. And all right, going into this topic, let's define what yearning is. Yearning, there is a huge difference between yearning and wanting. Wanting is like you have to have it or you can't function. Yearning is more of like hoping. So between these two vibration tracks, when your yearning is extremely pure, your reality in return becomes extremely pure as well. Hi Sarah, so good to see you. Oh, you're so sweet. I've been okay. Thanks a lot. It's so good to see you all. You guys are amazing as always. Anyway, I'll be going back to Singapore, so the timings will be more consistent and everything will be more consistent from then on. All right, I'm just going to give it another 2 more minutes and then we could properly start. All right, I see 8 of you all joining me today. 9. Why does the period of no contact hurt so much? Okay, today's topic is very interesting because a lot of you all may be wondering, I've already surrendered. I've already surrendered to the feeling. I'm no more holding on, but yet why is it so hard? So these are issues that we're going to talk about because no matter what you do, if you are still operating from 3D, you're still going to hurt. And no contact, everything. And the thing is, you are living in 3D, you are living in a 3D body. So these factors definitely hurt. Often you may wonder, why is it that I've done everything, I've done all the healing, but yet why do I still feel that? And why do you still get triggered when you see your divine masculine having fun or doing something? You still feel the trigger. So if you look at it intricately, you will realize that it goes down to you and how you are as a person, and your reactions stem from being from a place of having experienced all this heartbreak in your past, that when you have your divine masculine right in front of you, you often wonder, what is it that I need to do, or what is it that I got to do in order to survive this journey. And sometimes you're overly focused on what you got to do that you forget about what you have to do, which is to just go by and completely surrender. And when I mean completely surrender, you need to not have any expectations either. Often, sometimes you may come from a place of like, oh, if I do this, I'll get that. If I do this, this will definitely happen. But in a twin flame journey, that is not the case. If you are still in the state whereby I have done this, yet this is not working, then you are still not ascended to the 5D state, which is a state of no expectations at all. Having said that, why does it hurt so much? Because it stems from three primary factors, and the three primary factors are fear, distance, and time. Fear is that what if you never get a chance to unite? Distance is that by not being in communication, the distance becomes wider and wider and wider, and that is another deep fear. And thirdly, the biggest issue that you guys are going to face and are going to find it really challenging is time, because you are focused on the limitedness of time, and that limitedness is what's causing you a lot more pain. And when we look at time, time in itself, yes, time is limited, time is quantifiable. And you're wondering, but the thing is, if you're overly focused on time, it's just going to take longer. A pure state of surrender is when you have completely, surrendered to the journey without thinking about anything else. That means it's like, an example would be like a child at a candy store. The child at the candy store will get the candy no matter what. That is the level of pure wanting, yearning of the candy. So it's something like that. You got to get into that state, that childlike state, to experience that complete surrender phase. Moving on from time in itself, now I'm going to talk more about yearning. The yearning in itself can be really painful because you see, time, yearning, and distance, all these three are like your biggest enemies in the twin flame journey, because this is what you have to overcome and experience in order to actually experience union. And often that comes from a place of pure hearted yearning. So you're just willing this future into your present reality. We go down to why does it hurt so much? It hurts so much is because you want it so badly and you fear that you're never going to get it. And there's no way, or there's no proof, or there's no rationality beyond how you're going to be with your divine masculine either. So these factors tend to twirl around your head over and over again, and this causes more hurt. Hi Nidhi, I hope you're well. Guys, if you have any questions about today's topic, please feel free to chip in. And till then, I'll just keep on talking because I know many of y'all watch my lives like after, after the life in itself. I see a lot of y'all leaving. Probably it's a bit boring. Nah, actually, today's topic is not as boring as you think it is. So just hang in there. Let's talk about pain. What is pain and why does it hurt so much? If you really, really introspectively look at pain, you will realize that it is a series of chemical reactions within you that is affecting you to feel the way you're feeling. And often pain becomes physical as well. When you're in so much pain and anxiety and fear, you realize that everything, it's like your system is crashing down. And often, when you are in that state, it pushes you further and further and further away from your divine masculine. Thanks, Sarah. I thought it was boring compared to my other lives. Usually, I'm much more energized, but I'm so tired from this whole month. Yes, it is. It is. It is, Therese. It is very interesting. And that's why we have to like break it down. It's so important to break this journey down into like smaller portions to truly understand. Because from understanding and awareness is where is a lot of what you need to realize comes from understanding, awareness, and evolution. Because if you're going to be in the state where you started off, the point where you had met your twin flame, then you're never going to see progress in your journey. But ultimately, it is extremely painful. And overcoming the pain. Yes, Rachel. And this month has been very, very, very much intense. Like with the energies, it has been so extreme and intense. A lot of y'all would be feeling that whole energy. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, someone's thinking of me. You would feel very much tired. You would have noticed that this month is about introspection, and you would feel, hi, Melanie, so good to see you. And Rachel, so enlightening because I'm hurting right now. Yes. Somehow this month, the hurt is like amplified. You will feel yourself hurting a lot more than the previous months because you're like the year is ending and the holiday season is coming in a couple of months and just wondering, oh no, what is going to happen? How you're going to feel? A lot of this is coming into place and just causing you to feel more fear. That's why there are certain things that you can do. When you wake up in the morning, what is your first thought? Because your morning is what kickstarts the entire journey, the entire day. For instance, you are feeling quite lethargic, or you feel like I'm giving up on this journey, or you have to shift that perspective and slowly go within and see why is it that you're feeling the way you're feeling. Yes, Becca, this month has been so introspective. It's all about soul searching. This month is like searching your soul, seeing how far you're able to expand within your human body. That's what this month's about. And it's very, 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 very fascinating. Oh, Sarah. Usually it's friend. Another thing that I wanted to share with you guys is that there's a trick for this. When you wake up in the morning, it's so important to set the tone for the day, which is often quite hard. But when you are in that waking up state, it's easier to visualize you being with your twin flame. And often, when you kickstart your day with that pure manifestation of your divine masculine, you will realize that things tend to change a little around you. And that little is going to amplify, and every single day, it's just going to become better and better and better. Becca, I ask myself how I feel and see where I feel these things in my body every morning when I open my eyes. That's really good as well, because when you identify what it is that's bothering you, you're able to further travel through the journey in itself. And now focusing on why does it hurt so much? So often you are hurting because you are afraid. You're afraid that it's not going to work out, it's never going to work out, and it comes from that fear that you are not going to be with your twin flame. And that is what actually hurts you a lot, because you think that you're never going to be with your twin flame anymore. And that is the scariest and saddest feelings that you can ever have, because you just don't know. And then you are part of this waiting game, and you don't know how long more this is going to go on. You're just going to feel the way you're feeling, and you're going to constantly just keep on feeling the way you're feeling. And then you hit this point where you're starting to wonder, is this all that I have in my life, that and what should I do about it? This is the exact point when you have to surrender, completely surrender. But then, even after surrender, you're wondering, I have surrendered. Why is there no outcome? Why is there nothing that's happening as part of my surrender? That is the next stage, because when you go to that stage and when you still have expectations, you're going to push away what is going to come and manifest, because then you are dropping down to 3D all over again. Yes, like Rachel says, that is so true. I feel like I won't be at my happiest without him, and I'm scared. And the fear takes a huge part of your journey. Like, um, a lot of times it's the fear that tends to dictate how you're feeling, and then it further brings you down into a state of no hope. And you don't want to go into that state of hopelessness, because when you get into the state of hopelessness, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. You've got to anchor your energies back to the point where you start to feel at peace with yourself. And this journey is about feeling peace with yourself. And you're probably running this question in your head: how am I supposed to feel peace when I have no guarantee of my twin flame coming back to me, no communication, nothing? How am I supposed to shift from that? Becca, the shift into to complete gratitude for all my TF allowed me to move into is always my focus now. How can I shift out of sadness when it comes? Sarah, but then I remember I am more than she's. Both of you have fantastically answered that, because when you remember that you are more than you're aware of, then you are actually combating level 1, which is awareness. And often, just see it this way as well. You think that your twin flame needs to do this, needs to do that, needs to do everything in order for you to be happy. But will you truly be happy if you are vibrating from this vibration? That's another big question that you got to ask yourself when you're in this journey. What is going to make you happy being with your twin? Is that going to be happy? Or would you want to be in a state whereby you've worked on all your issues and you're with your twin, and it's so much more easier to enjoy and navigate the journey? Gardner, peace is inside me. I have to find peace inside first, that he will come. It's so important, guys, to actually feel that peace and feel that awareness, and just feel it. Another big part of this journey is to actually introspect a lot. You're going to spend a lot of time introspecting what is happening within you. You're going to often feel, hey Madeline, hello to you. Great to know that you're from Sweden. Becca, yes, happiness comes thankfully for me doing what I love. Yes, another big part of actually combating this fear is to go into a state whereby you enjoy doing what you want to do. And enjoying doing what you want to do is a big part of this journey as well. You may feel like, hey, I'm doing everything, but yet there's no change. I'm doing because you still have that stuck in your head. Like if I do something, that's going. It's not like the 3D world. You put in effort and you're going to see the fruits of your labor. In twin flame journey, it doesn't. Going expectation free is a major part of the journey in itself. So, for instance, if you keep harboring, like, how do I put it? If you keep thinking, oh, this is not going to happen, I'm always going to be limited, things are not going to change, I am just going to go on this standstill where there is nothing that's going to happen that's going to change the way I am feeling. And then you will notice that everything starts to go down the drain and it will become worse and worse and worse because you're questioning, and then you're questioning, which is good. Questioning is good, but then you're going down that stream of thinking that it's not going to happen. And that is why a lot of twin flames don't even get together. Oh, Therese and Madeline, you're both from Sweden. How fun. How exciting. You know what's really beautiful about this weekly lives? How all of you all become friends with each other. And it's beautiful because within the group, it's like we have another group here. Guys, show me that you're here. Give me a heart, give me a like, so that I know that you guys are watching. Okay, moving on, I am going to talk about strategies to actually cope when you're feeling that. You have done everything you can, and yet you still feel that void, that that void in you, and you're not able to navigate around it. Sometimes you have to experience the void, like the void is part of the journey, and if you don't experience it, it's going to come back to you in some other way. Oh, I love how you guys all have that Sweden connection. Another thing is, I wanted to teach you all another technique, the breathing technique. Every time you're feeling really, really, really stressed, this is one technique that really helps. I want you to take a deep breath in, and then I want you to count backwards from like 10 to 1. And when you start counting backwards, you'll realize that you are not focused on thinking about the outcome, but you're rather focused on the moment of actually counting backwards. So you take a deep breath in like this, and then you do like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you still don't feel calm, keep doing it. You can even do it like from 100, like 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 94, 93, 92, 91, 90, 89, 88. You see? And when you do this, you'll notice the more you do it, you're more present. Next up, this really practical meditation technique really works every time, because when you count, your mind can naturally only focus on one activity, and that to something that's similar but rather not different. And most of you will notice that your DM is in an extremely different profession to you. And then, when you start relaxing and meditating, you will feel this relaxation. And when you get into this tone, you will connect into this state whereby you will feel that, hey, Megan, so good to see you. Okay, I'm going to answer this question. Do they feel the pain as we do? Of course, they actually feel the pain way more. When you're feeling the pain, they are feeling the pain too. And that's why you got to like snap out of the state, so that you guys are helping one another in that way. And often you feel like they are not like feeling the pain at all. but they actually are feeling the pain in many, many, many levels. Sarah, I can always remember you telling me it's a positive. If I'm feeling it, they are too. So my heart is a reassurance we are connected. Well, that's how I see it. Rachel, yes, he's an engineer and I'm a lawyer. Yes, yes. And another thing is the divine masculine has a good way of like hiding it. They have a way of like masking how they feel. So you may often find either their social media being extremely active, or but deep within they're feeling what you're feeling, and they're doing everything that they're doing to distract themselves away from the pain. See, at least as the divine feminine, you're more aware of the pain, but as the divine masculine, they are completely not even aware of the pain. Tracy, me and my TF finally broke no communication. He wants me to be involved with a huge project again. However, he's toxic karmic that's around is trying to stop me being involved in his life in all aspects. I know she was talking so horribly about me because my left ear was on fire, even down to my neck. I'm feeling this out. You cannot focus on his toxic karmic, because these are all distractions trying to like get in the way to affect. Megan, we have a shared passion, which of course everyone knows, here knows, but our career choices are quite different. I'm a firefighter and he's in construction. We are both hardworking blue collars. Oh, you guys definitely are. So I want you guys to like try a kind of like a, because you see it's all in the energies. Ultimately, if you look at it, this journey, it's all about hacking the energies. If you are fully aware of the energies and how to work your way around it, you will see a complete transformation. Hi Karen, good morning to you. And the more you focus on the energies, you will realize things changing and shifting for the better. And sometimes you cannot just focus on the journey. The journey is part of your life, it is not all your life. There are other aspects of your life that you should pay attention to as well. Or you can watch it after work today. One thing great about this, all of my lives are they are there, they're available. You can easily watch them under videos, under pictures. Okay, I'm just looking at the comments. Rachel, sometimes I feel low for no reason, and I'm wondering if that's his pain you're feeling. Yeah, often you are feeling his pain as well, like the void, and you're feeling, and that's why you're trying to even wrap your head around like, why am I even feeling this pain when it's not my pain? When you're with your twin flame, you are extremely connected, and often that is the case. Megan, we must be true twin flames because he's a Cowboys fan and I'm Eagles, and we are going to watch the. Oh, that is wonderful. You guys go enjoy yourselves. And Rachel, sometimes that's the thing. I'm a lawyer too, and as lawyers, we often tend to try to rationalize things, and you can't rationalize a twin flame relationship because often it is beyond logic and rationality. The journey in itself is something that you cannot use a rule book or something to follow by. The only way to even see where you are in this journey is your energies, and you will know when you're energetically feeling what you're feeling. Another main thing that comes out is that You may feel like I've done everything, but yet why is there no change in my circumstances, or why there's no change as far as the journey is concerned? And often that is extremely, extremely stressful. But if you notice, whenever you get stressed, you're actually going down and you're feeling more and more and more stress, and that stress is what makes you feel further stress, and then you'll realize that your energy just drops low without control. Okay. Yes, Rachel, yes, of course. We overthink and overanalyze every single thing. Megan. Friendly rivalry is very familiar to us, though, since we often compete each other in pool quite often. We know how to be gracious to each other and still be loving no matter who wins. Oh, that is sweet. Diana, it's amazing how we connected. We can be how connected we can be to our twin flames, and I've only realized this lately with my DM. He's on holidays and overindulging in alcohol to shut out his pain from being in no communication with me. That happens as well with divine masculine. When they are not able to figure out what is happening, they tend to engage in vices or drinking or take some kind of inhibitor to just not feel what they are feeling as far as the twin flame journey is concerned. The twin flame journey is concerned. Sarah, I'm a nurse. I try to fix it and friend, but I can't. Biggest lesson for me. Karen, that is so right. When you rationalize the connection, I find I get hit with a big tower moment. Yes, when you try to rationalize it, you would find yourself like dropping really low because you're trying to make reason out of it. And then when you can't get an answer, you start feeling, you start just going down the drain of feeling extremely, extremely, how do I put it? You just go down the drain of feeling extremely tired, actually tired of trying to see, because you're chasing that outcome. You just want to be together. Innately, every divine feminine just wants to be with a divine masculine by hook or crook. That is the truth. But then often when that doesn't happen, she goes into that toxic mentality. It's like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not good looking enough, things never work in my favor, I'm always unlucky in love, only bad things happen. And then you'll realize the more you start having this kind of unhealthy self-talk, everything is going to change. And sooner or later, you will see yourself thinking and feeling, why is it that I feel the way I'm feeling? Karen, I found out this weekend that my DM's grandmother died a few weeks ago, and that is when he went on a bender and shut me out. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Often that happens when they are grieving or in a lot of pain, they will tend to shut off, and you will feel their grief and pain and not know what is happening. The yearning in itself can be painful because when you yearn, it's pure. Yearning is actually pure because you have no expectations, you're just being hopeful and you're just yearning. And even in yearning, if you go take the high road, which is just, wanting to be together and just hit that pure level of yearning, you will notice that things will just change, and you will slowly understand that this is how it should be, you know, like things taking effect and changing. And then the more you focus into these energies, you will realize that everything will start changing. And when the shift starts to happen, you will notice all the circumstances and everything around you shifting as well. Karen, I knew something was up. That's when we had our Zoom. Sarah, I have faith and have accepted I'm on the journey, a massive roller coaster, but truly believe, thanks to you, Vaish, we will be together. Just trying to enjoy the journey and focus on what I'm learning about it and me. Megan, Animal has done a complete 180. It's like as soon as he made up his mind, it was full speed ahead. For the past few weeks, he's been allowing me regularly to interact and even be involved with his daughter. That's a first. The shift will happen when you least expect it. Exactly. The shift will happen when you least expect it. And a lot has got to do with how you speak to yourself with regards to the twin flame journey, what kind of dialogue you have. If you're so fixated on the fact that nothing is going to change, then nothing is ever going to change because you have already determined the outcome. You're so convinced that your twin flame is not going to change his mind and things are going to be the way they are. So you have to often come out of that mindset and look beyond. Sometimes the neutral mindset is pretty good as well, which is don't think anything at all. When you don't think anything at all, you will notice that things change as well. Karen, my DM showed up unannounced again this past Tuesday after almost 2 weeks of silence. You see, sometimes you just have to let go and surrender. And when you surrender, things just shift. All right, guys, I'm going to go for another 10 more minutes. So if you guys have any questions, please ask me. I will definitely do a much more longer live next week when I'm back home in Singapore. I'm just really tired with all the weather changes and stuff. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to summarize what I've been talking about today, which is okay. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up today's topic. Sorry, I was just looking at some messages. All right. Thank you, Karen. All right, Karen, your DM is Therese. Thank you for doing these lives and sharing your wisdom. You're most welcome. I will bring you guys more exciting lives next week onwards when I'm back in my own country and things will be better. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up and I will talk to you all soon. And okay, a very quick summary of today's topic is that why even after surrendering and after doing everything that you got to do, there's still pain because to you have to deal with the way you look at pain and handle pain. Because often the human mind has this tendency to think that I am not supposed to be in pain. But you got to realize that pain is part of growth. I was reading about it somewhere about the pearl. Apparently, only an injured pearl can make pearls. Something like that. So you have to shift your perspective on pain in itself. And then slowly you will realize that things are changing and that sooner or later things will head in the right direction. You're most welcome, Jessica. Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. Yes, thank you. And all right, guys, I'll talk to you all soon. Take care and have a great week. And I'll talk to you all next week. All right, take care and bye bye.